Hey everybody, we are back to our new series, Believers in the Marketplace. And today we have a very special guest. She's my sister in Christ. I like to call her Esther of the Midwest. But we are interviewing today Mercedes Brown of Mercedes Brown LLC. And Mercedes, can you tell us about your business?
Yes. So hello everyone. My name is Mercedes, and I own a hair boutique slash hair store in the Kenwood slash Blue Ash area. Outside of business, I'm a mom, wife. I love people, I have a heart for people, and I love sharing my faith in the business being a space where women can just gather for community and great hair and earrings and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And I love that. So, I know we've talked briefly in this in our other conversations about how you got started, but I would love for you to share with us, like, what was your motivation? Like, what motivated you to start talking about your faith more within your brand and your business, not just your platform, but your willingness to use your space to share the gospel? Because you also are over a women's Bible study.
Yes. So man, the motivation, I feel like I need to take it back. So first of all, I started the business where it is split in half. One half is retail, the other half is community space. And I had the desire to do this because I was one who kind of hid behind beauty. So if I looked really great on the outside, people didn't know what I was struggling with on the inside. And
Yeah.
so that kind of sparked me to create a space where women could get all they needed to be dolled up on the outside. So that's earrings, get hair extensions, and all of the things that help us look amazing on the outside, but they also could come back into the event space that I like to call Better Together to be built up from the inside out. And so I always had the desire to do that. And then when the opportunity came, years later, I knew for a fact that it was supposed to be ministry, but I was kind of scared to, include my faith in there. So it started out as just like a community space. But I really felt like God was calling me to create more room for like Bible study and just conversations around faith in Jesus. So I tried to kind of hide and not do it as long as I could. And I really felt
Mm,
like I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
yeah.
This is not just to be a space for like hair and social events. This is a space where women discover me, meaning
Yeah.
Jesus. And that's what he was putting on my heart. And so I just was finally like, all right, God, I hear you. He gave me a few instances of people who came in who just kind of like reminded me of what God was telling me to do, and all of it just kind of came together for me to do. So,
Mm. So I'm glad you touched on the part where you said that you were scared a little bit and
yes.
then you were a little bit resistant, lack of better words, because I'm like you weren't necessarily not trying to listen to God, but it was one of those things of like, I don't know, like you were hesitant. Could
Yeah.
you express to us some of the things that will come to mind during your hesitation? Because I feel like
Yeah.
'cause in my first interview, I actually shared or discussed with the other young lady how some people are passive. Like I was dealing with passivity, like being very
Hmm.
passive. Because it's like, oh, everybody knew, well, the people that I was closest to and the people that I would connect with in person knew that I was a believer, but I wasn't as forthcoming as I felt led to be until the Lord really dealt with me. So can you share with us
Yeah.
like about that hesitation and some of those thoughts that came to mind, but how did you overcome those thoughts?
So my thinking was like, man, this is a hair store, right? Like, so I have my belief in God, but it's a hair store, it's retail. How do I talk to people about, faith in God in a store? And then I remember I talked to a family member about it when I was first getting started, and I was like shopping online to see how much like chairs and tables cost because I knew in my heart God was like, do this. So I'm like, well, at least I can start there. And so in my pursuit to look into the tables and chairs, I had a family member like sit me down to give me advice. And they were like, you want to have groups and things in the store? That's weird. Like you really should focus on your brand and the bundles and the hair. And so I was already on the fence and scared to do what God was telling me to
Yeah.
do. And then here come influence, like, yeah, that is weird. You shouldn't do that. And so that
Mm,
kind of helped me, like, yeah, that is weird. I'm new in business. How do I market this? That should be separate. So I sat on it for a while. And one day I was literally getting ready to come to work at the store. And that particular morning, as I'm getting ready, I'm like tying my shoes and everything. And I heard God say, don't forget about our agreement. And so our agreement was
mm,
that this would be retail and ministry, right? And so I'm kind of talking back and forth with God while I'm getting dressed. And I'm like, but God, don't nobody need this. It's weird. Don't nobody
mm,
need it. And he just said again, like, don't forget. And so I get to work, I'm opening up, I'm turning on my open sign and everything. And a woman comes in and she's like, hi, tell me about the store. You know, how long have you been here? And so I'm telling her about it. And I'm like, I'm going to mention the groups that I'm hoping to start and see what she says. And so I'm like, I'm telling her about the store, like, yeah, we got bundles, we got wigs, we got earrings, but I'm also thinking about starting like groups for women. And this lady starts bawling her eyes out. I mean, like
mm,
the ugly cry, like where she cannot get her words out. And I'm trying not to look at her, so I won't cry. And she has her baby on her hip. And when she gets
mm,
herself together, she's like, I'm here for the wigs, but ma'am, I need that, right? And so, mind you, that morning, I'm like, God, don't nobody need this. And here comes this woman who had never been here before that's bawling her eyes out, sending my checkout. She's
mm,
like, I need this. And so here we are with fear, though. My thoughts when she left was, that was a coincidence. Okay. I mean, God, I
mm,
know what you're saying, but I'm still afraid. Like, I'm afraid. And so that was on a Friday. Saturday comes. A woman comes in the store first time. She's asking about the store. She's coming to get earrings. So I'm telling her about the store. I'm showing her different things. And I tell her the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm also thinking about starting, groups and like Bible studies and all this stuff. And this woman stands on my earring rack and starts bawling her eyes out. Like, ma'am,
wow.
I need that. And that was when it was over. I was like, okay, God, I hear you. Like, I've been this whole time, I'm afraid. And I'm
Mm,
feeling like nobody needs this. Nobody would come inside of a store for this. And God is like, yeah, I do have people who need this. And I've called you to this specific lane in the
mhm,
marketplace to
mhm.
step up and do this. And so I wouldn't necessarily say the fear left. I just did it shaking in my boots. I'm like, okay, God, I'm going
Yeah.
to trust you. I'm going to follow you. Tell me what to do. How do I do this? And if this is what you want me to do, then you bring the women in and you provide what I need. And so
Mm.
the rest has been history.
That was
Seriously,
that,
I'm just like,
no,
okay, God.
I'm just I love that story, and I love how, because sometimes God wants us to learn and the mundane, and then sometimes He sends the lesson so fast
Yeah.
because it's like, hey, I have some urgency, and then He also just shows us different things in the waiting and the patience. It's like He knows how to get our attention, but He also knows how to keep us on track. Because I'm like,
Yes.
when you just touched on how y'all had already made the agreement, that was him also like trying to keep y'all two on track. Like, hey, remember we talked about this? Like,
Yeah.
you offered, like not offered, but y'all had an agreement
Mm-hmm.
that when you do stuff, that you wanted to include him. And I think the interesting thing is, I think that's why sometimes people are like nervous about being committed to God or being committed to
Yeah.
Christ, because it's like, oh, once I make this commitment, what's going to change? And it's like, by the end of the day, his purpose for us is way more.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
say the word satisfying, because I'm like sometimes surrender doesn't feel like it's better, but
mm-hmm.
it's really the best choice.
It's the
Like
best choice.
it's the best choice. It might be the most uncomfortable choice, but it's the best
Mm-hmm.
choice because you just never know who life may be touched, life might be changed, how your life can change with the people coming
Yes.
into, like the people that I've met during my time, not my time, but my moments of surrender has been life changing. Even if it's
Yeah.
for a season, it's like, okay, I got something out of that, not just monetarily or physically. I got something spiritually out of that situation that taught me
Yeah. Yeah.
about the goodness of the Lord, about his like everlasting love, about his endurance to pursue us. So I just love that. I want to
Yeah.
ask my next question, because I'm like, tell us about sit at the table. Like,
Okay.
you just had a 1 year anniversary this summer.
Yes.
You've
Yes.
been the only teacher. How do you feel about stewarding your gift um, in such a unique way? But what has been some challenges stewarding your gift in such a unique way? I know that's a new
Oh,
question. I know that's a
no,
new
it's
question
good.
because
No.
you answered my last question already.
Did I? Okay, okay. Man, I think that's a good question. So I mean, a seat at the table. Stewarding that has been very interesting. I feel like as much as God has called me to do this thing, and I am literally teaching Bible study in a way that, first of all, I never thought that I would be teaching a Bible study. And even
Hmm.
once I said yes to God, I tried to make it a more like, hey, come on, guys, everybody come and we're gonna all teach, right? I just kept
Mm,
trying to like, God, I can't do this. So I'll say yes in this way, but I'm not really trying to, and it has evolved to a space where I am like teaching. I never would have thought that I would be doing Bible study, first of all. Like never. That was
mm,
never my desire. Like, oh yeah, I'm about to do Bible study. Like that was never my thing. Or not
yeah.
even my thing, but just it wasn't something I thought I would be doing. And
Mm,
so what I have found is that I'm continuously having to go back to God for strength, for motivation, for
yeah.
encouragement,
Yeah.
to keep going. Cause it is a very challenging thing to be in a position of almost like shepherding other people, and not necessarily shepherding, but like just for one, just following through with God. Like I feel like the
Yeah.
enemy is always giving me reasons why you really should not do that. Or now it's turned
Mm,
into you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you're like really hitting me from the feeling standpoint. So staying with it has
mm,
been one of those things where I have to stay close to God. Like, okay, God,
yeah.
this is hard. This is challenging. This is not something that I necessarily feel like I'm qualified to do. And I still
Mm,
don't, even though, yeah, we just celebrated a year and I don't feel like pop my collar, like we just celebrated a year. I
yeah.
feel like, God, I pray and I hope that I'm being a good steward of this thing. Like
Hmm.
I hope that this is pleasing to you and you are proud. So more
Yeah.
so they're not like, oh yeah, look what I'm doing. And I'm also like,
Mm,
God, I don't know what I'm doing. And every 2 weeks that we do this, I'm just like, okay, God, I need you. Help me.
yeah. And we need that girl. When you just that's so good. I'm glad you just did that because you don't want to turn prideful. And you
No.
also don't want to gloat because it's like, yeah, this was really nice that we celebrate this, but it's like I still need him. And that's what I think that's what we have to remember as believers is that we still need him. Even if we think we already know what we're doing, even when we don't think we know what we're doing, we still
Yeah.
need him. And that's not saying that you didn't study. That's not saying that you didn't rightly divide the
Right.
word. That's saying like, hey, sometimes I feel like, okay, we're back again.
We're back again. Here I am. And
We
I'm
still,
like, God, I told you last time I wasn't the one, and I'm still right here. So help me,
yeah,
and I don't ignore that, man. We just celebrated a year, which meant God kept us to be able
yeah,
to do that. He's paid the bills here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he's provided
yeah,
for us to have this space to do this. So
yeah,
it's one of those things that you can't ever be proud of because it's like you recognize, or at least me, that I haven't done this. I'm literally just
yeah,
showing up and I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I may put together this study, but Holy Spirit, do your thing in the hearts of
Mm-hmm,
everybody here, in all of
mm-hmm,
our hearts, right? So that
mm-hmm.
our hearts are, flesh and palatable, one that's sensitive to the Holy Spirit,
Yeah,
that will listen and walls can come down and breakthrough can happen and
mm-hmm,
all of that, you know what I mean? And so when we're here in Bible study, I feel like we literally forget we're in a store. Like nobody
mm-hmm.
is even thinking like, oh, we're in a store,
Yeah,
and so yeah, and
that's
I would say some
awesome.
of the challenges is I guess I don't know, all of the things that are sometimes the good things are
Mm,
the challenges, like the fact that it's grown. Um
yeah.
and me trying to figure out, okay, well, the God, is this where you just still want me, or am I supposed to? Because I'm one of those people that can run and do, and I'm spontaneous, and I can have a bunch of ideas, and
Mhm.
learning to just be okay. This is where God has me now. Keep showing up. It doesn't have to be, well, where's this going, and what are we doing, and what's next, and
Yeah,
what? It's just this is where I
yeah.
am. So.
And being still in the fact that this is where he's calling you to right now, to
Hmm.
shepherd.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because we could talk all day. I'm like the word shepherd, and so when you
Right.
like study it
It's
out,
it's yeah,
it's so good. But
it's
I'm
a
like,
heart check for me constantly.
yeah,
And the more I teach this Bible study, the more I'm just like, oh, God, remove, and he's pruning me. Like,
hmm,
it's as much as I'm thinking like this is about these women and for these women, and it is, but every encounter with you and Jesus is growth for you. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so he's peeling back the layers and the things that are unlike him. And so
yeah,
I'd be like, oh, I'm about to put together this study, and then I'm wrecked all over again. Like,
yeah.
all right, I just got saved again. You know what I mean? But I'm
No,
just like,
yes,
yo, okay, like, man, um this is not just a heavy responsibility, because at the end of the day it is, and
hmm,
teachers will be judged,
and
differently,
held
but
accountable. Yeah,
yeah, held more
held more
accountable,
accountable.
like, and that can either be scary or a great reminder, like, oh man, think about the charge and what you're called to do, and God, you trusted me with this thing.
Yes,
You're trusting me, like little old me with this thing. I want to give it the best, like, because
yeah,
I'm doing this as unto the Lord. It's not even as
hmm,
unto the individual in this seat, although they have a seat at the table.
hmm,
Me personally, this be between me and God. Like, okay, God, I'm showing up, doing what you're telling me to do.
yeah.
This is between me and you, and God, do your thing in the hearts of the people who are here. So, but yeah,
I mean,
we can go deep. So,
no, because I'm like, it's we're gonna have to talk. We talk all, but I think as believers, if we start to show up more and more in spaces with that mindset of not just like, oh, I need to lead. It's more so, oh, I
yeah.
need to make sure that I am representing Christ well. Ain't
Hmm.
nobody say the word perfect, but allow his perfect work to be done in us. There's a difference. Because sometimes we
Yes.
mix up our worldly perfection, our definition of perfection in the world, with godly perfection. And
Hmm.
worldly perfection is like, oh, sure, iron, like you need to pronunciate these words correctly, be on time. Everybody
Yeah.
needs to know that I'm likable and I'm approachable and I want everybody to agree with me. Like God's perfect work may be like you being willing to hug somebody, you willing to like lay down your grievances for a moment, you being
Hmm.
willing to forgive somebody that has done you wrong, but still be bold enough to address the issue. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm
It's
like,
real.
sometimes
It's
I'm like, man, so it's like allowing God to like really be in every one moment, that's showing his glory too. Cause it's like you're inviting him into every situation and not being, uh, like, what are the words? Not being like super caught up
yeah.
in other stuff that you got to do. I'm not saying don't plan nothing now. I'm not saying don't be prepared. It's for the perspective of you're allowing him to be in each moment so he can get the glory out of each moment. It is
Mhm.
hard, but I think the willingness as believers needs to increase because that's what I'm saying. I feel like even having this series, it's so hard for a lot of people to fathom that there's more believers in the marketplace than actuality or what's being like portrayed in TV and social media
Mhm.
is because nobody really feels like talking about it because they're like, well,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I like you acting the way you act in that TV show, or I like you blah blah blah. It's like, but if the Lord's calling you out to be an honest representation of Him and a holy
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
Are you willing to make those sacrifices? And are you willing to be okay with what He may bless you with, even if it's not monetarily?
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
bless, like you can be blessed with peace. You can be blessed
Yeah.
with a new friendship. You can be blessed
That's
with
it. That's so true.
accountability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like people have a tough time having these conversations in the marketplace because it's like, oh, I get more engagement when I'm talking about,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or I get more business when I'm talking about. And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, at the end of the day, are you ever going to talk about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, to one person. So
Right.
my last question for today is for you
Okay.
to answer. what would be some advice you would give to a person struggling with showing up in their industry as a believer? And I mean the ones that have been feeling like the Lord has been probing them to or prompting them to, because I don't believe every believer um, has that. I don't want to say. I'm trying to say this the best way I can.
Yeah,
Everybody has different time frames in their walk where the Lord is literally like trying to get their attention.
that's
He
true.
always wants to spend time with us, but depending on someone's battling with something, or they're going through grief and blah blah blah, they don't necessarily hear him as clearly. But this question is for the people that have been hearing him very clearly about showing up more in the marketplace. What would be some advice that you would give them?
Man, I feel like first of all, if you are feeling like God is like literally telling you, hey, share more, do more, whatever he's calling you to do, always remember that God takes care of his will, right? So
Yeah.
he's going to provide. There's provision over there, right? There's favor over there. And you don't
Hmm.
know what's on the other side of staying over here with, whatever I may think is comfortable. Like God is aware of the times and what's going to change. Like even down to there's been things that God has told me not to post or to post, but He knows the trends and the things are going to change. And like He's aware of the that you're also in the marketplace. So it's not just like He's oblivious to those things when He's calling you to be a voice within the marketplace. But
Yeah.
remember, there is provision over there. And there is someone who needs your stuff. And if you're waiting to be confident, you may not. And you may be waiting on the wrong thing.
Mm.
I feel like me now doing a Bible study, I don't necessarily feel confident, or I don't feel confident in myself. I feel like God definitely provides, and I am confident
Yeah.
in that. And
Yeah.
that's where I rest at. But as far as me, whoo, I'm a train wreck. I'm a mess. I am terrified. I feel like I don't talk right. I don't speak right. I'm not a scholar.
Mm.
I'm not this. And I can go down the whole list of what I'm not. But what I am is trusting in the Lord. Flat
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? Like, and that is my confidence now and my resting place. Like, that is my help. And so, man, if you're on the fence, what do you have to lose by stepping over there? And the things that you think that you have to lose, they're
Mm.
worthless. But what you have to gain, you don't even know. But if God is calling you over there, like if it's
Mm.
his will, it's his bill. Like he's going to
Hmm.
provide. And
Yeah.
so for me, that's just where I'm at, even with down to like the details. And so,
Hmm.
like specifically, one of the things for me was, man, how do I share just my business in general?
Yeah.
And one of the things that God had told me to do was to walk away from Facebook. And I'm like, Facebook, like I need to be there. Like they got Facebook Market. Like, come on, God. Like, you don't see? Like, I literally need to be in all these places selling my stuff or to be seen. And God was like, no, I want you to walk away from that. And so I'm like, well, God, how am I going to be seen? So Instagram had opened up the new feature where I can post from Instagram and still post to Facebook. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, well, now I figured out a way of not really being on Facebook and still posting on Facebook. And so I have been doing that for probably about 3 months or so. And God literally told me, like, you're in rebellion. And that word was like scary
Mm.
to be like, yo, rebellion, like that's deep. You know what I'm saying? I'm
That's
like,
all hard. It's
yo,
like a
I'm like,
cuss
wait a
word.
minute, bro, like
It's like a cuss
rebellion,
word. It's a cuss word that nobody, but everybody need to hear. It's one of
girl.
those
And I
words.
just like, it was like the room shook, like you're a rebellion, like you're not
Mm.
trusting me. You're trying to be seen and make it. Can you trust me? And so I was like, okay, yeah, I am rebelling. I found a sneaky little way to not do what God is telling me to do. So within this business,
Mm.
I'm going to surrender everything. Whatever you're telling me to do, I'm going to do. However you want me to do it, I'm going to do it. So I let go of Facebook and literally, it was probably like 3 weeks later, Fox 19 had reached out and they were like, hey, can we do a story on your business to like show it and talk about it? And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And again, like I'm the whole time, I'm like, God, I need this thing to be seen. I need to figure it out. And so they did that. Then, like the next month, Channel 9 came and was like, hey, we want to do a story. And I'm like, yo. And it just continued. The next month, it was, I think, Channel 9 again. And it was like God was showing me, like, you're trying to hold on to your idea of what it's going to look like and how it needs to be
Mm.
seen. And you don't trust me, but I have things that you have not seen that are on the other side of your obedience. Would you get in position? Let's do this thing, right? Like, let's do this thing. And so that's where I've been since then. Like, I'm not getting off course. God, what you want me to do? We doing
Yeah.
a prayer night in the middle of the bundles, then we doing a prayer night.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever God want me to do in this
Yeah.
space, because it's not mine anyway. I'm just a steward,
Mm,
right? And if He allows me to have the keys another month, I'm gonna show up and I'm
mm.
gonna serve Him with this space. So that's what I would say. Do the thing.
One of these.
Do the thing.
No, Mercedes, thank you for sharing that because
Yeah,
we forget that God is God.
God is God.
Like nobody think, and I will say we forget that Jesus is Lord, right?
Yeah.
Because he he wants to set us up for the best.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to be willing, like you said, what's on the other side of the obedience. I love that because it's like
Yeah.
sometimes it literally is just that yes to the thing that you think is major or the yes that you think is too small. Like
That you think it's too small.
it
Just
can be
do.
just do it.
Just do.
I would like for people to know how they can connect with you. You also have some stuff
Okay.
coming up in October. You're
Yes.
doing a wig giveaway. A wig.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell us about that briefly? And then tell us how we can like follow you on social media
Okay.
or your website.
Okay. So yeah, so the wig giveaway. This will be my third year doing the free wig campaign, which is a giveaway that I started 2 years ago for
Hmm.
women who have suffered hair loss to cancer treatments. And so I just do a free wig giveaway. I'll be doing that again on October 18th. So any woman can come and get a free wig regardless of her diagnosis. You just need to go to my website at mercedesbrown.com/pink October. You can get all the details. You can register. And then come out and get a free wig. And then also we have sponsor gifts from other businesses who want to also gift these women with just something to help them have a sense of normalcy as they continue to fight, for their lives.
Mm, that's good.
Outside of that, seat at the table is every other Wednesday. We do 7 to 8:30. That's in person and virtual. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then
Awesome.
social media handles. Shop Mercedes Brown on Instagram and everywhere else. Well, and TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok too much. So
So
yeah.
thank you. Thank you, Esther, aka
Thank
Mercedes.
you.
Because I feel like Esther's her real name. I'm just joking.
They
Thank
like
you,
who?
Mercedes. Who is it? Read your
Right.
Bible. You'll know who Esther is.
Ask
Uh,
Mordecai. No, I'm just
I,
playing.
like Mordecai is that uncle that's probably ride or live. Like he probably is just full on slave gangster, and everybody don't be ready to talk to them slave gangsters, but they be ready.
Right.
Okay, they be
Yeah.
ready to have conversations. Like, what you say?
Right. He like,
Can I
maybe
pray for
God
you?
put you in this position to, I mean, did you forget? So yeah.
But I love you and thank you for tuning in. And we are
Ooh,
appreciative of you coming on our series today. And
thank you for having me.
thank you. And thank y'all for tuning in for Beyond Fresh with RJS. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.